Hey, what's going on, guys? Buffalo Gamer 77 here, and today's video, I just want to talk about a console that I recently purchased from a friend of mine. Got a great deal for it, and later on in the video, I'll tell you what I paid for it. This is a system I never owned, never played, and it's new to me. And when people ask me about this system in my collection, I would say I don't have that system. I have everything else. Well, not everything else, but I have a lot of the main systems, but this one I did not have. And that is the Sega Dreamcast. Now, Sega Dreamcast turns 20 years old this year, I believe, right? Came out in 1999. I believe it came out on 9/9/99. It's pretty easy to remember. It's a disc-based system. Here's how it opens. There we go. Over here is the power button to turn it on. And over here you got the AC in and the AV out. Somewhere over here. And over here you have the Ethernet cable port. This game was able to connect to the internet, and also even had a web browser. You could even get on the surf the web on it, which is pretty cool. You know, I never heard of a system back then doing that, and the Dreamcast is one of the first ones to do it, if not the first one to do it. So here's what the game came with. Here's a controller for it. Now the controller is something I never actually played before, felt before. It feels kind of bulky a little bit. I like how the buttons are over here. It reminds me of like a Xbox controller, but it's bigger though, you know. This thing right here is called a VMU, which is the virtual memory unit. This is where you can store your games and save your games on it and then load them up from this memory card. I believe you can even play like games itself on this little memory card. This one, the batteries were dead in both of them. And so I changed the batteries the other day. I'm going to do a video on how to change the batteries on your VMU if you're not sure how to do it. And it does take two CR2032 batteries. Let's see. Also, this did come with I believe a rumble pack, which is this right here. The batteries are probably dead in here as well. I'm not too sure. I have to open it up and probably check them out or play a game with it and see if it actually works or not. But yeah. And the second controller also has the same setup as the rumble pack and also a VMU. Growing up, I didn't know anybody that actually had a Sega Dreamcast. Everyone had like an N64 or a PS1. Sega Dreamcast, I didn't know anybody that had it, so I never played it. Now let's talk about the games that came with it. Now these games, a lot of them I'm not familiar with at all. I don't know much about them at all. So if you actually play these games, let me know below and tell me if they're good or not. The first one is Evil Dead. Yeah, Evil Dead. This game is loose, no manual, no cover art, no back art. It's called Evil Dead: Hail to the King. Next game's called Carrier, or Carrier. I'm not too sure how to pronounce it. This game is rated M for mature, animated violence, animated blood and gore. I'm not too sure what kind of game it is. It looks to me from the cover like a horror game. If you could hear it, you're already dead, it says. The game is complete. Next one is a classic, GTA 2. I did play GTA 3 a lot in the PS2. Never played the second one. This game did come with a map as well, which is really cool. I like how games back then came with a little extra stuff, and like the maps, and if they had like maybe a soundtrack with it, it came out pretty cool. This one has a little map right here. It's in pretty good shape. Respect is everything, it says. GTA 2. I even like how the manual here, how shiny the cover is. I think it's pretty cool. Get a little touch on it. Nowadays, you get a game, you get the disc, and that's it. There's no cover art, no manual, nothing like that. I'll fix that later on. Next one's a game called Evolution. Not too familiar with it. My friend told me this was the first RPG for the Sega Dreamcast. Not too sure how accurate that is, but that's what he told me about it. This is Evolution, the World of Sacred Device. This game's rated T for teen. Next one's called Spawn into Demon's Hand. Spawn is a comic book character. Not too familiar with him in itself, but looks pretty cool. The graphics look pretty good in it. Made by Capcom. Todd McFarlane Entertainment. Next one's a sports game, and that is NFL 2K2. I didn't really get into sports games past, I'd say 1998, 99. I did play Game Day 98 for the PS1 a lot, and also NBA, I think it was 99. I'm not too sure, but that was on PS1 as well. These sports games are pretty cheap. You can pick them up for usually for about like $2-3 each. Next one is Jet Grind Radio. Sorry, Jet Grind Radio is a game. Looks like you are in the skate park and you're grinding on things like railings and different parts of the park. And next game here is, from what I've heard from other people, this is one of the best Street Fighter games that's out there. And that is Street Fighter Third Strike, and I believe it came out also on the Street Fighter 20th Anniversary Collection, or I'm not sure, 20th Anniversary, 25th Anniversary. I'm not sure, a collection of Street Fighter games that came out last year, and the game is complete. This is a pretty pricey game. I believe it's about $49, maybe $40 or so. And the last game here is Guys of Arcadia. This game is an RPG game. I do have this game for the GameCube. I played that game for about 4 to 6 hours. And I don't know, I couldn't really get into it. It has both discs. In Skies of Arcadia, you fly around from area to area. And for me, I had a hard time navigating the ships flying in the sky. I just had a hard time with it. I played it for a few hours, thought I'd give it a chance, and I don't know, I couldn't get into it. Maybe the Dreamcast version maybe easier to control. I'm not too sure. But yeah. Also, he told me that the Dreamcast plays burned games as well. These games are actually not, they're just normal CDs that, I don't know, they're pretty scratched up. I looked at them, they're pretty scratched up. But here's Crazy Taxi 2. Crazy Taxi 1. A game called Time Stalkers. 18-Wheeler. Zombie Revenge. Let's see, it says Grandia Disc 2. And there's no Disc 1 for Grandia, so I guess you can't play that. And Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC. So yeah, I'm not too sure about these burn games. They actually still work. Pretty scratched up, so I don't think so. So overall price I paid for these this whole lot was $60. I got a great deal for it. My friend Jesus hooked it up strong and came through with a great collection to get me started on the Dreamcast. A lot of Dreamcast games are pretty expensive, especially the shooter games that, this is one of my favorite genres, the shooter games, and they're pretty pricey. Like for example, the Sega Dreamcast, I have Darius Gaiden for that game, for that system, and that is high price. It's like what, $70 or so. There's a few games I'm looking at, and then Power Stone 2, and also Marvel vs. Capcom 2. But those games are also pretty high, around $40, $50 each. So if I can find a good deal on them, I'll pick it up. If not, I don't know, maybe I'll get it burned. Who knows? All right, guys, well, thanks for watching this video. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing to it. I do videos on streams, unboxings, news, pickup videos, and recently got into sneaker unboxings. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate it, and you have a good night.